Welcome to the CompTIA Security Plus tutorial. So in this tutorial, we're going to learn the information that you need to prepare for the CompTIA Security Plus exam. When you finish this tutorial, you will be one step closer to being CompTIA Security Plus certified. This certification helps many people advance in their jobs and careers, and can help you move forward as well. CompTIA Security Plus is a popular IT certification. Many companies, when choosing an employee in a security-related field, choose to eliminate the candidate if there's no Security Plus certificate or a higher-level security certificate on the resume. You see how it's an indication of how important CompTIA Security Plus or a higher-level certificate is in getting a job. Of course, this is not the case for all IT areas. However, most of them pay attention to this and will pay more dollars for you. CompTIA Security Plus is designed to validate your basic knowledge of securing computer networks and general corporate security. So if you are studying the CompTIA Security Plus exam and want to pass it on your first try, then this tutorial is for you. Our course covers all of the goals set out by CompTIA for the Security Plus exam. Our goal is to provide students with an education in which they can study the relevant and important details of CompTIA Security Plus, with sufficient depth for challenging topics, but without details on topics that are clear to most IT professionals. This course was created using our own experience and resources widely used in the market to help students master the subjects and pass the Security Plus exam when they first take it. Our goal is to ensure that you master the information on any subject related to Security Plus training by the time you finish this course. Remember, this tutorial will guide you. Being successful will depend on your own work. This tutorial is for people who like to work on their own. If you like to go to any course and watch the training videos regularly without sitting in the classroom, this training has all the information you need to pass the exam. Additionally, you can continually refer to this tutorial to remind yourself of important and relevant concepts. These concepts are important to real-world security professionals and IT professionals alike. You can use the Security Plus certificate as the first step to obtain other security certificates by completing this tutorial. CompTIA first published the Security Plus exam in 2002, and its popularity rapidly grew. They revised their exam targets in 2008, 2011, 2014, 2017, and 2020. So the current exam version is numbered SY0-601. The 2020 exam version is SY0-501. The English version of the SY0-501 exam will be removed by July 2021. Now you can take both exams. I recommend that you take the SY0-601 exam because it's the most up-to-date. A summary of exam details is provided right here. Number of questions: maximum 90 questions. Test duration: 90 minutes. Passing score: 750. Rating criteria: a scale of 100 to 900, approximately 83%. Types of questions: multiple choice and performance-based. Quiz format: the quiz uses a traditional format. You start with question 1 and move on to the last question. During the exam, you can skip questions and mark the answers that you want to review when you're finished. Additionally, you can view previous questions if you want to as well. For example, if you come to question 10 and remember something that will help you answer question 5, you can always go back and redo question 5. Types of questions. You will see two main types of questions on the exam: multiple choice and performance-based. Each type is described in the sections below. Exam prerequisites. The only thing you need to take the exam is money. There is no other mandatory prerequisite than this. However, to pass the exam successfully, you are expected to have at least 2 years' experience in security-oriented IT management. If you have more than that, exam materials will probably be easier for you. Now, the exam can be more difficult if you have less experience. The exam test provider is Pearson VUE, and you can follow this link to go to their homepage. Now, most questions are multiple choice types in which you choose one or more answers. When you need to choose more than one answer, the question will include a phrase such as choose 2 or choose 3. You may also see questions using phrases such as best choice, best explanation, or safe. In these examples, don't be surprised if you see 2 answers that might answer the question, whereas only one is the best choice. You can expect up to 10 questions based on performance. These include matching, drag and drop, and data entry questions. CompTIA calls these performance-based questions, and instead of choosing from a multiple-choice answer, you usually have to do a task. CompTIA's goal is to provide more accurate tests to verify that people have a full understanding of a topic. People often ask if they are on partial credit. CompTIA said you can get partial credit on some questions, but other questions may not give you partial credit. However, you never know which questions will give you that partial credit and which ones don't. That means you've got to do your very best on every question. Now, the sections below cover the different types of performance-based questions you can expect. You can always check out some of the blogs available on the internet regarding performance-based questions that I wrote here. It is enough to write CompTIA blog in the search engine. You will see 2 lists in a matching performance-based question, and you'll need to match them. For example, one list may include types of control such as technical, administrative, and physical. The other list may include certain controls such as risk assessments, security protections, and encryption. You will match technical with encryption, management and risk assessments, and physical and security guards. This becomes irrelevant if you understand the common types of security audits. And again, this can be quite tricky if you don't understand the types of control. For some questions, you may need to drag items from one position on the screen to another to answer the question. You can think of these as multiple-choice questions that have many correct answers. However, instead of selecting the checkboxes to indicate the correct answer, you drag them elsewhere on the screen. Some performance-based questions may ask you to analyze a scenario and then enter the appropriate data. For example, securing your network describes a configuration of wireless access points and wireless routers. A related question may ask you to configure an access point to operate in WPA2 enterprise mode. In the past, Security Plus test questions were relatively simple. For example, a question might be, what is 5 times 5? Now, you know the answer is 25, or you don't. Exam questions tested your knowledge of the material, not your ability to examine the question, so that you can understand what the question is really trying to ask. But CompTIA has made these questions increasingly complex. Many people memorize practice test questions and answers. However, this is not a successful path because CompTIA often changes the questions. So ideally, you should know why. Right answers are right and wrong answers are wrong. This will give you a chance to interpret the questions and then answer them correctly. If someone memorizes a few key words from the previous question along with the answer, CompTIA will likely run into problems if they change the question. Exam objectives are divided into the following areas or general subject areas. Additionally, CompTIA publishes the percentage of questions you can guess in any area. 1.0 Threats, Attacks, and Vulnerabilities, 24% of the exam content. 2.0 Technologies and Tools, 22% of the exam content. 3.0 Architecture and Design, 21% of the exam content. 4.0, Identity and Access Management, 16% of the exam's content. 5.0, Risk Management, 14% of the exam content. 6.0, Encryption and PKI, 12% of the review content is posted as a list of targets on the CompTIA website. It also includes the following comments. Sample lists provided in bulleted form are not exhaustive. Other examples of technology, processes, or tasks related to each goal may also be included in the exam, although these objectives are not listed or covered in the document. CompTIA constantly reviews the content of our exams and updates test questions to make sure that our exams are up to date and questions are safe. The sample list provided in bulleted form below each goal are not exhaustive. Other examples of technology, processes, or tasks related to each goal may also be included in the exam, even if they are not listed or covered in this goals document. This indicates that you may see something that is not on the target list. As an example, the goals clearly show an increasing emphasis on Linux, including Linux commands. And believe me, you're not going to be able to find the chmod command or the shroot command in the target lists. However, it is entirely possible to see the commands in the questions in the live quiz.